Hi everyone, it's Anja here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today we are on the last part of the assembly of our mystery cal. So today you are finally going to find out what this mystery project is. So first of all, we have all the parts that we've made. So we have week 1, we have week 2, then there was week 3, then the squares of week 4, Ophelia 3D squares, and then of course week 5 as well, with the 2 squares attached to one another. Now those week 4 squares, 2 of those, we turned those into a bag in the last video. So before you can continue with this video, you need to have made the bag, okay? And now finally we are going to assemble, yes indeed, the blanket. This blanket is very, very special because it will fold into its own bag. And this is part 3 of the assembly in the pattern. Okay, so I've laid out all the parts of our blanket. So we have in the middle week 1 and week 2. Then we have on either side, we have week 3. Week 4 are in the 4 corners. And of course, we've made a bag with the 5th square of that. And week 5 we have here and there. So when you look at the blanket, you will see that it looks normal, right? But then when you take a closer look, you will notice that this here is actually a bag that we can put the blanket into when we fold it up. So Layla, are we ready for assembly? What do you think? Yeah? Okay, let's do it, shall we? Yes. So now we are going to attach week 3 first, and then we will look at week 5. So first of all, the way we're going to attach week 3 is by doing another round of dainty clusters, join as you go method. So we're going to be joining that onto this square, then joining onto the big square, and then joining onto the bag part. And I will show you how to do that. And then you will do your own side there as well, the second side. And then you'll have to come back to me, because to join these two, we're going to have to use a slightly different method because of the way we constructed these 2 squares. So let me see you on my desk to start you off with the join as you go round for week 3. Okay, so I'm using mocha. I'm making a slip knot and I'm going to insert my hook, and I'm ready to start my join as you go round of dainty clusters around my rectangular part here. So yarn over, and I'm just going to start in between 2 clusters, and I'm going to do a dainty cluster there and then work my way to the corner. And of course, in the corner, you are going to do half a corner, so 2 double crochets and 1 chain. And then you are going to go, let me just position them better. There we go. And pick up the corner space there from the opposite or from the next square, and you bring that through, do a slip stitch, do another chain, and off you go, completing the corner. And then of course you attach it to the square, and then this way you continue and you keep on attaching in between the clusters. And I will see you at the corner. Okay, so I've connected these two here. I'm just doing the last cluster here. So I'm connecting the corner. So one chain into that corner space, doing that slip stitch. And now of course we're ready to start the other side, but the other side is going to be connected to our main panel, the middle. So go to that panel and do into that corner space here, do one of those slip stitches as well. Hang on, I've got to get the yarn below. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's connected now. And now again, I do a chain, and now, of course, I'm connecting into that corner space again and connecting along the side, doing my dainty clusters. Okay, look at that. So now, let me just show you if I can. Right, we're doing the second side of this rectangle, and that's being connected to the main part of our blanket. So I will be back when I am at the end of this row here, of course, when I'm at the corner here, because then of course here is the side where we're going to be attaching our bag. So let me show you how to do that then. Okay, so I'm just about to finish my side here into the corner space there with that slip stitch. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to have to work alongside the bag part. And you're going to be doing exactly the same as before, obviously, but you are going to treat this part here as if it was just a square and not all this other stuff as well. So you're going to have to try and get into, let me just show you with the hook. You're going to have to try and get into these locations like so to attach, okay? But of course you will be able to, because we've only attached the webbing on the side, so this here should be free, as you can see. Now the only place where I said, oh, you know, make sure it's really well attached was this place here, and I'm hoping that you will still be able to get through there. If not, just push yourself into there whichever way you can. Okay, so let me continue and show you what to do. So we're now ready for that first one into the chain spaces here. So let me just get in there and come out of there as well. Wrap around the yarn, bring it through and do your slip stitch. Chain one. And then of course here we are now, oh, careful, yeah, doing our clusters. There we go. So that's the first cluster done. And now, of course, we're skipping a cluster on this side, coming out there. Look at that. And you wrap around your yarn carefully, bringing it through and do your slip stitch. So once again, take a little bit more time to do this. Maybe fold it like this nicely, which will allow you to get in maybe easier. Just see what is easier for you. So you do your cluster on this side. And then once again, skipping here and going in there, and just each time check to see where you've come out. That's not the right place. I think I need to be a little bit lower. There we go. Okay, so you're between the two clusters there, and you'll have everything in between here, you know, those single crochets that we did. Wrap it round, bring it through again, do it carefully. It's going to be easier if you're not trying to do it in a viewfinder as well. There we go. Okay. And so you're going to work yourself all along this side like this. And of course, this is the only side that we have to do like this, because here, when we're attaching on this side, we're only attaching on this side and not on this side, because of course we need our bag to stay open. Okay, so I will see you at the end of this side here. Just, you know, it will be worth it. It will be worth it. Where am I? There we go. Wrap it round, bring it through carefully. There we go. Okay. And this is, oh, hang on a minute. This is what it looks like. We'll see you at the end of the row. Oh my goodness, I have finished attaching my side here to the bag and it's looking good. Okay, so I am now doing my last cluster here, chain into the chain space, wrap it round and do your slip stitch there. And then of course you continue with your corner and with the rest of your round. So that means just dainty clusters in between the clusters from the row below. When you get to where you started, you will have to slip stitch, close around and cut off the yarn and weave in the ends. And then of course you will have to repeat this same process on the other side. So you are going to attach the second one like this in exactly the same way on the other side of your blanket, but of course you won't have to deal with this, so it will be a little bit easier. Okay, so I have attached one side, so there, here and here, and now I'm going to go over to this side here where I will attach these two and these two. So we now have attached this side and this side to the main square. Now we have to do the two rectangles from week 5, but they are not wide enough because of the way we have constructed them. So we are going to do on the side, we are going to do a join as you go the way we have done just now. And then on the top here, we are going to do a fake join as you go. Remember, I came up with that throughout the blanket, so we're going to use that there, and then we come back down with a normal join as you go. This will ensure that it fits, okay? And that's how it goes. So I will be showing you how to do this side here, so we take into account the bag, and then you can do that side on your own. So I will be back with you on the desk. So basically I'm going to be doing the same thing as I would have been doing if I didn't have this bag here, of course. So here, of course, you're going to have to try and find somewhere to go into, even if it is just a few strands. So let's get started. You're going to do your slip knot, as you can see. Then I'm going to try and get into here. Just any strand will do. There we go. And I'm going to attach. Yeah, there we are. Just a slip stitch around. So that really is the slip stitch you did in the middle of your corner that you would have done. Then you do your chain carefully. And then I am going to continue into my corner chain space there with 2 double crochets. Then you go to the other side again and you find the location where you would have gone in between the first 2 clusters, and in fact, look at that, it's just next to my webbing there. So that is a positive. I can just link and do my little chain there. And then you continue doing your clusters and going over to the other side, to the other square to do your chain each time. So really you are disregarding the webbing, but still making sure you can connect the 2 squares. So I am now going to continue along this side until I meet the corner here, and then I will be back to show you what to do to connect it to the main square. And of course this way here we have got our bag and it's still open. Okay, so I have just done my last cluster here, and the previous one I attached into the chain space on the corner of the other square. So here I've got my other cluster here for the corner, so to speak. So I am now going to go into the corner of the main square, or even of the other square, just sort of for good anchorage. You know I like to do that. And bring it up, there we go. Okay, now we are no longer doing the clusters, but we're just going to do slip stitches. So I just go in and do a slip stitch there and then a slip stitch here. Have loose yarn here, so you get 2 slip stitches on top of that double crochet there that you did the last one. And then that brings you to this location here. Okay, so just behind the corner on the other square. And then we are just going to be doing these slip stitches along. Again, don't do them too tightly, and you go into the other square in between the next 2 clusters there. There we go. Voila, see, look, and this is what it looks like. I don't think it looks wrong, I think it looks fine. And now, of course, we are going to work our way along the side here. In the middle, where the 2 squares meet, we will have to do something special, so I will be back to show you that. Okay, so I've been doing my fake join as you go, and now where I am nearing this location here, between the 2 squares, we have to connect here for this one. Then we are going to skip the chain space, connect the next one in the seam here of the 2 squares, and then again skip the chain space. So we've done that before, where we skipped the chain space, and so that's what we are doing now. So this is why I have put those stitch markers in, so you could see where to connect those. So let me just do that. And then, of course, you're going to work your way to the end. There we go. Let me get rid of the stitch marker, because otherwise I can't get past there. Where's my loop? There we go. So when you get to the end of this row, you're going to think, oh my goodness, I haven't got enough spaces. But of course, remember, we did dainty clusters on the side, so we have to do dainty clusters on that side as well. So there will be a little gap when you get there, but it will sort itself out. So do your slip stitch into that chain here, and then I do the slip stitch into the sort of location where I'm going to be attaching at the top there. There we go. Okay, once again, let me remove this stitch marker. And then on we go. So we skip the chain space here again, but of course we have to do our slip stitches in there. Again, make sure that your yarn is free flowing so you don't bunch it up. So then of course you go all the way past the next 2 double crochets, and then you do your slip stitch there. There we go. Okay, and again remove your stitch marker. See, there we are. So that's what it should look like. And now I'm going to continue, and I will see you at the end to start doing our dainty clusters again. Okay, so I've just connected with my last slip stitch on my fake join as you go. Then I have nothing more here to work on, but I do still have this cluster here. But of course we are doing a join as you go row with clusters along this side here. So I am just going to do a slip stitch back into the corner chain space there. Then I'm going to do 2 chains, and I'm going to go onto the other square. And in fact, I always go into that one. So just, you know, for good anchorage there. There we go. And then I'm going to do my second double crochet because we normally do 2. And then I go and I skip to here, and you do your linking on the other side in between those clusters there. Then you continue working as we have been before with our dainty clusters, and each time linking them to the other side. I will see you at the end of the row. So this is where I'm at now. I've just linked this last cluster into the chain space. Now I'm going to do 2 double crochets into this corner chain space on the rectangle here. And then I'm going to go back to the chain space and I'm going to link it there. There we go. Okay, and that's it. That's the end of your row here. So you're not going to do a 4th side because of course we've already done that in the raspberry. Okay, so now you have to attach the other week 5 squares on the other side, but of course you have to make sure that they are not in the same direction as these ones, so pay attention to that. I will see you when you have connected them. So I've made an extra little flower for when the bag is inside out, that I can put a flower on here, you see. You don't have to, you can do that as an, you know, if you want to, but obviously then your bag will have 2 3D flowers on the outside, and you will still have your nice 3D flowers when the blanket is lying flat. So let me show you the blanket in all its glory. Remember, I'm only showing a little bit here because there is of course going to be a proper lookbook coming out as the next video, where you can see all the things that I was planning on doing with this wonderful blanket in a bag. Okay, so this is what our project looks like now. So we have week 1, week 2, we have Layla doing an inspection. I really hope you have enjoyed making this mystery project, and do please show off your makes on the Facebook group. I can't wait to see your versions of it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!